Next, we will look at how to write a set in simplest interval form. So we're looking at interval notation, and we want to write it with as few symbols as possible. There are two things to keep in mind when doing this. The first is that we will always go from left to right on the number line. And since we're heading for simplest form, we want to use as few intervals as possible. So let's look at an example. We'll take the interval starting at negative infinity, and remember we always use parentheses when we're dealing with infinity, up to negative 3, including negative 3. The square bracket indicates that the negative 3 is included. We're going to take the union of this set, or this interval, with an interval going from negative 5 out to positive infinity. What we want to start with is drawing a picture. The safest thing you can do when you're working with intervals is draw a picture and see what it looks like. So here we have the interval from negative infinity to negative 3. All the left side of the number line here is highlighted starting at negative 3. We're going to take the union of that. So every number that lands in this set and this with the set from negative 5 to positive infinity. One way to see this is to kind of draw them on the same number line, or imagine that you're sliding these number lines on top of each other. And what we'll get in this case is shading in from negative 5 out to forever, and then from negative 3 out to forever. We've shaded in the whole number line. So every real number is a part of this union. The simplest way to write that is from negative infinity to infinity, and that's our interval form. Now, let's consider almost the same example. Instead of a union, we're going to look at an intersection. So we'll draw our number lines again. Negative 3. And I'm going to jump straight to putting them on the same number line, but in a different color, starting at negative 5. We can see, dealing with an intersection, we need the places where those number lines overlap, the points that are in common to both sets. And that's happening between negative 5 and negative 3, including negative 5 and negative 3. Our simplest interval form then starts on the left side where they overlap at negative 5, goes to the right side, negative 3, and includes both points. That's the end of this segment.